I do want to say this to those of you who are watching who are not yet where you want to be. Like, keep going. Like, keep going. Don't quit. You're already in pain. You're already struggling. Like, get something for your pain. It doesn't make sense to go through pain and then not get none on the other side of it. So since you're already struggling, you're already going through it, get on the other side. It's all mental, and people don't get it. And everybody wants to say, okay, well, here go 10 steps to, okay, Lewis said do 8, E.T. said do 9. You know, this person says this is 12 steps, and everybody's trying to get the steps without the mentality. It's like, okay, maybe you don't need all 9, or maybe you don't need all 8. Maybe you need 4, maybe you need 12. I don't know. But I think sometimes they see what we do and say, if I can duplicate that, just like exactly how he's done in the book, exactly how, and it's like, yo, you have a story. You know, you have a unique experience. And so your 12 are shaped by not just your world, but how your world has shaped your thinking. And I think that's the part they're missing. It's like, guys, if it was easy, everybody could do it. If it was a cookie cutter, everybody would just follow it to the T. But there's a mindset. Like, it is a mentality. You know, on our new album, The Resolution, I talk about, I got that dog. And I'm not really referring to just this, aggressiveness, but it is a mindset. I saw Belichick said something where, they were like, how you feeling about the Super Bowl? He's like, I'm gonna be honest with you, we're 5 weeks behind.
I think we focus so much, we focus so much on what we don't have. We focus on what everybody else has. Like, we always want to focus on the disadvantage. And I'm not saying we're not disadvantaged, but if you make that the focus, where your focus goes, your energy flows. Mm-hmm. So I'm just gonna focus on a couple things I do have. Life, I got a brain, I know how to read, I know how to speak. So what my father wasn't there? So what, I didn't go to the best school district. So what, I got kicked out. So what, I got kicked out of college. So what? I'm gonna focus on what I can do, what I do have, and what I can become. And that's what I think the problem is.
For some of you, the next level is just accepting that you belong there. Like, forgetting your past, forgetting where you come from, not worrying about what you think you don't have yet. Just relax and you belong there. So the next meeting after, they trained me and we talked, the next call was like, yo, E, what you doing tomorrow? I'm like, I don't know, what's up? He was like, Warren Buffett's coming to town. I'm only inviting 30 people to come and I want you to be one of them. I'm like, I'm there. This one, you got to catch this one. There's a reason why I'm in this room, and I'm not the 4th richest person in the world, but I must be rich at something. I just don't know what it is. But I have to be a billionaire in an area, because if I wasn't a billionaire in the area, they wouldn't have attracted me. So I'm looking like, those malls you go to with the Louis and the Prada and my man sitting there, he was the dude that owned those. Then I would watch the game, the Cleveland Cavaliers game, and he would be sitting next to Dan at every game. They all own property, like billions of dollars worth of property. And I started doing my homework and I was like, ooh, I see what they don't have though. While they have money and they do business, they don't have the human experience. I was growing up, it was a long, long time ago, when we used to fight, we used to get in a circle. We'd get in a circle, and then 2 people would get in the middle, and then you fight, right? And I got smart, because I didn't really like to fight, so I got smart. And I started telling guys who said they wanted to fight me, I'd say, look, let's do this. Let's not fight in front of nobody. If you really want to fight, let's go in the back, just me and you. Like, I don't know why you clowning in front of everybody, why you gotta try to be the big man. Let's just, me and you, go to the back, and let's just fight, and don't nobody if you really want to fight. And I learned, E.T., if you want to get out of fights in the D, the more you run, the more they're gonna want to fight you. So I'm telling you, in life, you start running from a class, you start running from a subject that you don't like, it will haunt you for the rest of your natural life. It ain't going nowhere. I want you to write down what it is you're trying to do, and I need you to be very honest about where you are in terms of what you're trying to do. Like, where are you? So for those of you who I want to be a millionaire, I just need you to really think through, where are you financially? Like, in terms of financial literacy, where are you? In terms of financial discipline, where are you? And in your past, where are you? Do you spend money you don't have?
I just feel like your gifts will make room for you. And when you're trying to be somebody else, you block your gifts. You block your opportunities. So you don't see me trying to throw a football. You don't see me trying to, put a basketball in a hoop. You see me speaking. You see me serving, helping kids get their GED. I blew up with teaching a GED class. That's how I became famous. And people always ask me, why did you start there? I can psychologically tell you how to get prepared for a GED. And then the GED went to, can you help kids stay in college? So I did that that in college, and before you know it, because here you are with an opportunity to get a 4-year degree, and you playing, and you know you doing partying and doing stuff that maybe other kids have an opportunity to do because they got a net to fall back on. You don't have a net. So man, I went off. So for me, my gift has made room for me. Every time I talk, every time I speak, every time I educate, doors open. So man, stop looking at the Joneses might be good at what they're doing, or the grass might be green on the other side, but it means somebody's keeping up with it. They watering, they cutting it. It didn't get green like that on its own.
You know, but in America, and it was funny, I was just recently in an interview or had an opportunity to do a luncheon with Warren Buffett, you know, and he was just saying that, you know, this is the greatest country to be born in. This is the greatest time, you know, to be born, you know, in this particular country, you know, social media, you know, economics, just opportunity. So, you know, I'm the American dream. I represent, you know, what so many people from my community represent. You know, mom who had me out of wedlock, pregnant at 17 years old. My grandmother kicked her out, not because she didn't love her, but my grandmother kicked her out because she had 14 kids. I say the American dream, you know, you're talking about not just my generation, but my mother, you know, trying to finish high school and, you know, getting a job in Detroit, working for Ford Motor Company. So, you know, the journey started with my mom, and I took it from, you know, my mom to an entrepreneur. But, you know, I eventually dropped out of high school. I was homeless for about 2.5 years. And, you know, through education, I think is where, you know, I got my turnaround. I'm not saying degrees. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, you know, going to school and really learning how to identify my craft, how to hone in on my craft, and how to sharpen that craft. I like school just because, I mean, it's a safe place. You know, you got breakfast, you got lunch. You know what I'm saying? You have to worry about, you know, certain things happening when you're in school. Your friends, the social life was great. We're out here making this money and you're going to school for what? Like, what are you going, like, you're not doing anything. You're not going to Harvard, you're not going to Yale. You're not even going to community college with your grades. So you just need to just quit, let it go. I started getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning. It was like, yo, you're gonna have to get up a little bit earlier because you didn't finish school. You didn't take care of your business. Can't get up the same time another man who gets up, who handle his business. And so for me, it was like, you gotta discipline yourself. You might have the same experience they had, so you just gotta discipline yourself. You know, I do vegan most of the time, you know what I'm saying? And I tell people all the time, I love fried chicken. I love macaroni and cheese. I love a lot of dessert. But in my family is diabetes. So it's like, yo, if you do what they do, then you're gonna get the results they got. But if you wanna be with Didi for the next 30, 40 years, and you wanna be able to walk, I wanna be able to walk at 60, at 70. I wanna be independent at 80 if I can be. So I'm gonna have to make some sacrifices now. You know, and I want people to understand this. Dream big, but get small wins though. Okay. You know what I'm saying? You can dream big, but get the small wins. Okay. And those small, I'll never forget hearing John Elway speak once. You know, John Elway was like, yo, I became great by being good over a long period of time. You know, and so for me it was, all right, Didi's leaving, she's going to college, if I can get my GED. That's all I need to focus on right now is let me get the GED. And here's the thing I never realized. By having a girlfriend, it was like, I'm not dating anybody that's selling dope. I'm not dating anybody that's, you know, violent. You know, I'm not dating nobody that's carrying a gun. So for me, it was like, I didn't even know by being with her, it stopped me from doing some of the stuff that had I not had a purpose, I probably would have been doing what my boys were doing. Because I was with them, I just wasn't doing what they were doing.